Hi everyone, my name is Maddie. I'm 17 years old and I'm about to finish my junior year of high school. 4 years ago today, in 2016, I attempted suicide. And that's really hard for me to say because it's just a weird thing to say, like, hey, I did this, like it's, I don't know. It was definitely the darkest and hardest time of my life. I was dealing with bullying really badly from my friends that I thought I had, and it was middle school, so bullying happens in middle school to a lot of people. But was also being mentally and physically abused at home, emotionally abused by my brother's dad. So I was having a really tough time at school, and then I came home to much worse. And I was on antidepressants, so I was getting help, but I wasn't getting away. I was trapped in a place with a man who degraded me and knocked me down so hard. It was just awful to me all the time, and it's really hard for a 14-year-old. I had just turned 14, maybe I was 13. It's just really hard for someone going through puberty, going through self-esteem changes, to just be brought down every single day, and then to also be hit a lot. It was a rough time. I felt the most alone I'd ever felt in my entire life. And one day I just couldn't take it anymore, and he told me to do it. I said I was going to, and he told me to, and left me in the room by myself. And so I attempted, and I'm not going to go into detail about how I attempted because I don't want to trigger anyone, but it obviously was unsuccessful, as I'm still here today. But it was the scariest moment of my life, because I remember when I was doing it, all I could think about was everyone that I'd be hurting the whole time. How it would hurt my older sister, like her having to go to a funeral. It would hurt my little brother because he would never get to know me because he was 3. How it would feel for my mom to come in to see me dead, and how all my friends that I still had, my grandparents who I hadn't seen, my grandma who I hadn't seen in a long time, my dad who I wasn't even talking to at the time. So I stopped because I couldn't do it to them. So even though I felt really alone, I wasn't alone. But my mom came home and she found out, and I was taken to the hospital where I spent a week. I still have my little notebook from the hospital, but I only wrote in 2 pages of it. I didn't really write a lot. I just wrote about how scared I was because it was a scary place. I mean, there were people in there who had far worse illnesses like schizophrenia and different stuff like that. And there were people who were severely injured from their suicide attempts who I had to see and talk to. But it felt good to get a break for a week. I mean, I wanted to go home every day because it was terrifying. Because people were mean there. There were some nurses that were mean. There were some that were great and super nice, but some were awful. And I just wanted to go home, but going home meant going back to where my stepdad lived, and I was terrified. But a time in the hospital I spent visiting with my mom because she came to see me, and my grandparents, my grandma and her husband, who's my grandpa, they came to see me, and my aunt came to see me in the hospital, and it was like family that I hadn't seen in forever because my stepdad took them away from me and he wouldn't let me see them. And I didn't feel alone anymore. I felt like there was a way to escape, that when I went back home, I would finally get to leave the abuse that I was under. Sorry. And we did. This happened in April, obviously, and by June, we were gone. We had run away. We just got in the car one day and left. Drove from Kentucky to Indiana and moved in with my grandparents. It was me, my mom, my little brother, and my sister, all in one bedroom, because my mom had no job, and my stepdad took all the money. He wouldn't let us have any money, even for his own kid, because my little brother is his full son. My sister and I aren't his kids, but my little brother is his son. And he left us alone for a little bit. And it was such a relief to finally get away. For the first time in my life, I felt happy. I felt like no one was gonna hurt me because no one could. He wasn't there anymore. And I got to get off my medicine. And I started a new school. I made a bunch of friends. It was amazing. And I was with my grandma and my grandpa, and they loved me. And they took care of us. They helped my mom get a job. They helped my mom get her own first house and get back on her feet. And we were doing really good. And then Ryan moved to Indiana too. Ryan's my stepdad's name, I'll just say it. He moved to Indiana. And it was scary. There were a lot of times we both lived in the same place. We both lived in Greenwood. And there were times like I had a choir concert and we drove our car there, and then we got out of the choir concert and it was gone because he had came and he'd stolen the car. He was stalking us. It was terrifying. But we got past that. She got her restraining order and like it was fine. Then my mom fell in love with this man named Mike, who has 3 awesome daughters, Ellie, Lainey, and Emmy. And we eventually moved to Martinsville, where I have gone all 3 years of high school, all 4 years of high school starting next year. So I'm safe now. And I still have like flare-ups and relapses. Like I'm still on my medicine because I've been left with PTSD from things that Ryan did. I have anxiety, and I get depressed all the time because it's hard to just let everything go. But I'm safe and I'm living. I never stopped living. And that's the most important part, is that through all the bad times, there are still good times. And even when you feel like all you can do is let go, you shouldn't. Because you never know, one day it'll all be over, like all the pain, all the suffering. It will be over because you'll get past that. It won't be over because you killed yourself. All that does is makes other people feel your pain, and you don't want that for them. So I'm going to show you guys a bunch of happy things that have happened in the last 4 years. 4 years of being alive. Well, 17 years of being alive, but 4 years after trying to die, how wonderful life is, how amazing my life is, and how much I've achieved and accomplished in 4 great years. So, thank you all for listening, and I'll come back at the end, but I just want to say that you're not alone. You'll never be alone. Someone loves you, and there's no reason for you not to be on this earth. There's no reason. And I hope you remember that. And yeah, thank you for watching and listening to my story. I hope it helps you if you feel like you're alone. You're not alone. I will keep saying that because it's so important that you were never alone. And hurts can heal, and it's okay. Alright, let's play the video. When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, and there's no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for 1,000,000 years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met, no doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, I'd go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on the rolling sea, and on the highway of regret, the winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I could make you happy, make your dreams come true. There's nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you, to make you feel my love, to make you feel my